Hello YouTube! We have the Chinese New Year event for Idle Heroes. 2 weeks of sheer awesomeness. And before we get into today's video, I'd love to just thank every single one of you for what has been another great year of Idle Heroes content. It's been fantastic, and this is the first major event of 2022, and I'm looking forward to plenty more in the future. But Chinese New Year is notorious for being hard to beat, so let's go check out all the great things that are in store for us. Some really good artifacts, really interesting things to buy, and a lot of great stuff even for our humble and beloved free-to-play players. As well, before we go check all of that out, let me remind you about Patreon. If you want to support the content I make here and get a little bit back in return, such as account reviews, why not join me on Patreon using the link up there? This week alone, we've seen Stephanie Quimper, Joshka R, and also Kane Tupin, who have joined our ranks as patrons. If you want to be like them and get a shout out here on the channel, as well have access to account reviews like I said earlier, join our Patreon, and also why not join our Discord in the description below. Folks, it'd be great to see you on there, and I'd love to take a look at your accounts. And anyway, let's go check out this week's event for Idle Heroes, because there's some really good stuff in store. When you first step into this year's Chinese New Year event, you'll be greeted by lots of lovely things here. The first thing is the New Year check-in. This is a great way to get stuff for free just for logging in. We have the Idle Log of 2021, which is a way you can look at all the progress you've made over the last 12 months. We have community events available through Facebook, and of course, there's a joyful little mini game that you can play on your phone. I wish I could show you some of this, but unfortunately, it doesn't work so well on PC. So I encourage you to play on your mobile if you want to get the most out of this. But anyway, let's start off by taking a look at what we get from the New Year's check-in. For the next 14 days, if you log in every single day, you'll get the following rewards. First of all, a special custom avatar, which will contribute towards your Celestial Island rewards. Very nice. You'll get some gems, you'll get some scrolls, you get some profit orbs, you get some dust. Very standard things. On the 6th day, though, you'll get yourself 30 million spirit, and that's pretty exciting. As well, glorious relics, more 5 stars, skin shards, and 50 million gold aren't bad at all either. And finally, if you make it to the last 4 days, you're going to get some promotion stones, a core of Transcendence, and as well some wishing coins and an elite 5-star hero shard. The best thing here, of course, is the core of Transcendence and also the golden spirits. That's some really good stuff. It's going to help out your account, and that costs you nothing. All you have to do is log in to get those cool things. As well, for logging in, you're going to get yourself 3 heroic summon scrolls every single day, and that's for the next 2 weeks. I need to stress that this is a 2-week long event, so you have ages to go ahead and make sure you're completing this and getting the most out of your rewards. So let's go check out the cool events. Now, the first thing that's probably going to confuse and perplex you is the fact that there is no hero for this event. This is one of the coolest things DH Games have ever decided to do. If you go to the summon circle and click just where I am, actually, I'm in the way on my camera, but there is an option to go ahead and select a 5-star hero who is going to become your hero for this event. Now, be warned, you can only choose this hero once, but the way a normal heroic summons event works is after every 500 summons, if you don't get a copy of that selected hero, you're going to get one for free. In addition, every 400 summons is going to grant you that hero from rewards, just like you see in the normal summon prizes. There is a blank box right there ready for you to go ahead and get that hero. Now, a lot of you might be asking, who should I go for here? Well, my recommendations would be, if you're a brand new player that doesn't have an E5, go for the hero you're trying to build as an E5, whether that's an Eloise, a Penny, an Ithaca, or whoever. Most of you will probably be pushing towards Eloise. It's a good choice to go for. Now, others might want to go for a light and dark hero. Some may even, if you're a new player, want to go ahead and get Drake specifically, because Drake is arguably the most powerful light and dark hero in the game because of his ability to synergize so fantastically with Sword Flash in the many areas of the game, as well as just being a very, very competent hero that's going to increase your broken spaces damage. Now, that said, take a look at the light faction and you can see Eos, who just got transcended, and I kid you not, Eos is bonkersly good. The Transcendence form, who we're going to take a look at later on in this video, is truly phenomenal. We were testing her out on one of our whale accounts over on the Twitch stream, and I have to tell you, things were incredible. If you want to catch content like that, join us at twitch.tv/MKxJUMP. The link is in the description. But either way, make sure you pick a hero that is going to benefit your account that you're struggling to get copies of. That's why I suggest Light and Darks. They are the hardest to get. especially for free-to-play players. But literally any hero could be good here as long as they're powerful. Do not choose a hero that cannot be imprinted. Bloodblade, Aiden, heroes like that just are not worth this really, really valuable slot, because this is the first and probably only time we're going to see this year. If DH Games ever plan on doing this again, it'll probably be Anniversary, and that is 6 months away. So make the most of it whilst it's here. Now, continuing through, let's look at the rest of the stuff. Of course, as standard, we have Palace of Crystal. Every 400 summons are going to get you 5 Eternal Crystals. Unless, of course, you go to the value packages and buy the $100 package to get the Palace Key. And that will unlock the first chamber here, and each package you subsequently buy will unlock the next. Each purchase will get you 15 additional Eternal Crystals if you go ahead and do those 400 summons. So you either get 5 Eternal Crystals for 400 summons or 20, depending on how much you're willing to spend. As well, the packages are as standard. You're going to get twice as many gems as VIP experience points. You're going to get now what is the normal 200 heroic summon scrolls per $100 spent, so that will scale as well, depending on how much you're willing to cash out. And as well, we got ourselves the Year of the Tiger badges. So this is the Year of the Tiger, and with it being Chinese New Year, there are additional rewards available. And these Year of the Tiger badges are exactly how to get them. We'll talk more about those very, very soon, but let me assure you that these are pretty exciting, and you can get some really valuable stuff with those. As well, those of you that were paying attention will see that you can get them too from the summon prizes, 40 for each tier, giving you a total of 240 for doing 500 summons. So that's an important thing to remember, 240 for 500, 480 for 1000, and so on. So make sure you remember that. As well, the hero lottery means that if you get a copy of the hero you pull, you'll also get some 4-star armor, which is pretty sweet. And finally, for the limited events, for the next 2 weeks, these 5 heroes will be added to the altar. For 6,000, you can get yourself an Eos, and for 3,000, you can have Jara, Seer, Queen, or Vesa. Nice cheap options, I think. 3,000 isn't too much, and 6,000 for an Eos is actually a very, very modest price for a hero that is probably going to be a very phenomenal Transcendence hero moving forwards. Whether it's as good as building Sword Flash as a first Transcendence hero is difficult to say and will require much input from the community, but the anticipation is that it's probably likely either Eos or Sword Flash will be good picks, although most people will probably still recommend Sword Flash due to her versatility. That said, Eos is exceptionally good in game modes like the Realms Gate if you're using her to her full potential, but that does require the new artifact to get the most out of her, so that might be something pushing you away, whereas you can do well with many different builds with a Sword Flash. Whether, of course, the new Eos is able to do well with other artifacts remains to be seen. Stay tuned in future content to see if that's the case. Anyway, let's go take a look at the special stuff for the spring greetings. First thing, the New Year growth plan. Make sure you click this and unlock the growth plan before you do any of your daily quests, because every daily quest you complete once doing this is going to get you points that get you rewards. This is going to get you gems, scrolls, 5 stars, chests that give armor, more scrolls, gold, promotion stones, dust. It's all coming in from this. The scrolls here are very influential actually, and very important because you can use them at this event, which is going to get you extra rewards and make it a little bit easier for you to get those Year of the Tiger tokens. But either way, as you move on, this is loads of stuff that's great to get for free. All you have to do is your daily rewards, which you should be doing anyway. Very, very, very nice. You get all the way to the end, you're going to get yourself an orange artifact fragment, and here is 4-star orange gear. So that's okay. But this gets a lot better if you decide to purchase it and select yourself a plan. It's lovely to see that DH Games have added a beautiful selection of heroes to this. The last time they let us choose the hero we got from a plan like this was Penny, Horus, Cthugha, and Garuda. Now they've swapped out the Cthugha for a Morax and the Horus for a Tix, which I think is a good call. They're both very strong heroes, much better than Horus and Cthugha. It would have been nice if it was Eloise and Waldeck, but some would argue that that's a little bit too far. What you get from this is all the materials necessary to go ahead and build this hero to 9-star, as well as an exclusive artifact here, which offers HP, and damage reduction. You'll also get some glorious relics, and as well, you'll get a skin. It is worth noting, though, you also now get a 9-star, which means you could potentially build them to 10-star. That is huge. This is basically a build your own 10-star kit. Lovely, super valuable, and I like to see that. For 30 bucks, you cannot go wrong, especially considering it includes 13,000 gems. Nice. Now, one thing worth noting is Tix's skin is not available here because it is a festival limited skin, and DH Games thought it was a bit too much to give away a festival limited skin in this package. Instead, they are giving Horus's skin. A bit of a disappointment, but I understand why that is the case. My recommendation for those of you going for this, if you're a new player, go for Penny. Penny is a phenomenal first E5. If Eloise was your first E5, Penny is a great second E5. Both are rangers, and Penny plays to Eloise's strengths, so it's an excellent choice. Tix is fun for people that need someone to steal attack in broken spaces, and Morax and Garuda really don't leave much to be desired. That said, Morax is able to do a Bastille land, which is nice, but Garuda I really wouldn't go leaning towards building, considering you're already going to get a load from the Glory challenge, and you should probably be building Rogans in the Forest faction, not Garudas. But, you know, some might go for this. Unlikely though. My anticipation is most people will choose either Penny or Tix, with a few whales going for Morax if they're desperate for copies. Some people may even just be swayed by the artifact themselves, in which case go for whichever faction you feel is going to be of most value to you. So there, that's my take home for this. Let's go check out the spring greetings. So obviously, with it being Chinese New Year, there is some incredible stuff for you to go ahead and pick up. We've already taken a look at the stuff you get for logging in daily. Let's look at the rest of the rewards. There's the Temple Fair, and this is what you spend your Tiger tokens on. First of all, for 300, you can get yourself 9-star light puppets. For 600, you can get 10-star light puppets. For 200, a 5-star chest. For 250, a light and dark 5-star selection chest, and the most important thing here on this list, for 1060, a mysterious artifact selection chest. And you might be thinking, why is this chest so important? Artifact selection chests are normally good anyway. What's so special about this one? This one contains melodic strings, the new artifact that has never ever before been offered in a chest. Therefore, getting this is huge. I really cannot stress to you how strong this artifact is. A lot of people have already spent $50 during Christmas to get their first copy of this, and this will most likely be your second. Even more exciting for you people is that this chest is available completely for free. Now, you may remember you can go ahead and get 240 of these Tiger tokens just by doing 500 scrolls. So in theory, you can pick up 960 by doing 2,000 scrolls. That may leave you scratching your head saying, well, that's not even 1,060. Well, actually, what if I told you there was an additional way to grab them? It's here. It's called the Spring Festival Mission. There are loads of ways to pick these up. You're going to get 60 of the tickets just for doing 4-star quests, 25 times 3, which is 75 for doing 5-star quests, and for doing 7 6-star or above quests, you can get yourself an additional 70. That's great. So that's going to add up to about 205. Very, very cool. Moving on, there's an additional 100 here for 5-star heroes. So just summon 100 5-star heroes over the next 2 weeks, and there you go. If you have EOS lit up already at 5-star, 6-star, and 10-star, that's going to be even more in your back pocket. So maybe it's tempting for you to choose EOS as your selected hero because maybe you need those copies to go ahead and build a 10-star to maximize your rewards this week. And finally, we have the Decoration Mission. For using 2 arena tickets, you're going to get another one of these Year of the Tiger badges. You can do that 60 times. You can get another 60 and another 60 for spending gold and spirit, and that's 300 million gold in total and 300 million spirit in total. Also, you get guild coins for this and monster souls, which is pretty cool. Now, in total, if you can max all 3 of these things, that's going to give you 580 Tiger tokens, which is going to make achieving this much more realistic. You have to spend 1,000 scrolls to take you up to 1,020 Tiger tokens if you max this out, which means all you have to do is an additional 50 after that to have everything you need for a mysterious artifact selection chest. So free-to-play players, listen up. If you've managed to save 1,000 scrolls for this event, which hopefully you've been able to do because we've been stressing to you just how important scrolls are during the holiday season, 1,000 scrolls plus maxing this out is going to get you everything you need to get that mysterious chest and potentially get yourself a copy of the new artifact. But guys, it gets better. Say hello to the spin to win. 1,000 gems allows you to spin on this wheel, and not only do you get rewards which are naturally very good, there's a 1 in 5 chance to get 8 heroic summon scrolls, which is worth it anyway. There are 3 prophet orbs here. There's a core of transcendence, very nice. You can get yourself a random limited skin, which is good, and it's going to help you legendary skins for the Celestial Island. You can even get yourself a random orange artifact artifact, which can be good to maybe get a magic source if you're desperate for energy, or maybe you can feed this to help you with your Almost Workshop essence. So that's all good stuff, as well as the random void egg, which is beautiful because eggs are good, man. Eggs help you upgrade star spawns, and star spawns means progress. So I like that as well. Now you can do this up to 100 times, and it's 1,000 gems a spin, so that's 100,000 gems needed to max this out, and that will get you 5 tiger tokens every single time you spin. So if you spin on this wheel, you not only get great rewards, you get those tiger tokens, which means you'll have to spend less scrolls or not have to max out the full of this event. For example, if you can't get EOS from here, like let's say you can't build a 10-star, you're going to be short of 30 tiger badges. Now that could be a problem for you. Now maybe you just use more scrolls, or maybe you just spin 6 times on here to pick up the final tiger badges. Either way, if you're ever struggling with any of these festival missions right here, you can top up using the spin to win. My encouragement towards free-to-play players is that the thing you should be doing is not necessarily spending all your gems on this, but spending the ones you need to make sure that you get yourself a mysterious artifact selection chest. Now, if on the other hand you're a heavy spender, you may want to weigh up how much you can spin on here to minimize the amount you need to spend, because obviously to get further into this event with more tiger tickets in your back pocket, you are of course going to have to spend money, which brings me nicely on to this right here. This is the New Year relay. Now do not be deceived, this is basically one really fancy value package, just split up into several chunks to make it not seem as expensive. Very clever marketing strategy. Starting off with this $5 package, you get some gems, you get some scrolls. Doesn't really seem worth it, but when you look at this, for free, you also get more scrolls as well as 3 cores of Transcendence. For $5, that might be tempting. An additional $1 then gets you 500 gems and 10 scrolls, so you'll start thinking in your head, well, it's worth it at that point, I might as well. Suddenly, you've spent $6. Another $15, and suddenly it's 1,500 gems and 30 heroic summon scrolls. Well, that doesn't seem worth it, but maybe it is, because looking at this, wait, that's another 1,500 gems and 12 cores of Transcendence? Wow, I have to pick that up now. And you start to realize the sunken cost fallacy really begins to bite at you. Very clever marketing by DH Games. There's even a skin selection chest here offering a festival limited skin. Very exciting for people trying to maximize the Celestial Island. Moving on, for $2, you get 500 gems and 5 cores of Transcendence. And you think, wow, that's really cheap, so I must spend all the way up to get to that. And you think, hang on a second, I've already spent money to get to that point. That's kind of wild. But then $20, and that's going to be 10 more cores and 2,500 gems. Well, that doesn't really seem like good value. But then I look at the next thing, and that's the EOS skin with 300 tiger badges. Wow, I've got to grab that. But believe it or not, guys, by this point, you've spent $50. But it doesn't feel like $50, does it? $5, $1 here, $15 there, $2 here, and another 20. Suddenly you've spent 50. And that's the very clever thing about this package. You spend more than you expect to spend. And it's kind of silly for that reason. And a lot of you could get sucked into it. And then finally, the final package here, which is $50, is 5,000 gems, 15 cores of Transcendence, 50 heroic summon scrolls, another exclusive skin, as well as 500 stellar shards. Now, it's going to be very difficult to turn around to people and say this is bad value, because I will level with you guys. It actually seems pretty good. You're getting a lot of cores of Transcendence for your money, but do bear in mind, buying this entire thing out just to get all the skins, all the cores, all the gems, all the heroic scrolls is $100. And a lot of people may be deceived by that. Now, the good thing is it does actually mean you can pick your price point. If you only feel like spending a little bit of money, you only have to spend a little bit of money. If you want to spend loads of money, you can. So it's nice that it splits the package into accessible chunks, but at the same time, it can trick you into spending more money than you're comfortable with. So just be careful. The whole thing is $100. As we approach the end now, there is the Transcendence Fight, where basically you get additional rewards if you do fights with EOS and 1 additional Transcendence hero. If you use a fight with Aspen, you get Elite 5 stars. With Halora, Elite 5 stars. Asmodel, Dark 5 stars. Jara, Light 5 stars. Vesa is going to give you cores of Transcendence. And finally, deploying your very own Sun Devourer EOS will get you a 5-star hero selection chest if you do that 10 times. Now, the important thing about this is you have to be in a battle where these heroes partake. So reach out to members of the community, whether it's in our Discord, whether it's Facebook, Reddit, whatever. Loads of people that have all of the Transcendence heroes will be opening their accounts up to you guys so that you can all pile in on their friends list, attack them in the friends fights, and then claim all of these rewards here. So hopefully you can find someone who is available in the community that has all of the Transcendence heroes here. Swordflash is the only one excluded from this list, and hopefully you can attack them in the friend zone and get yourself all the rewards you see here. The only thing you won't be able to pick up, of course, is this 5-star hero selection chest, but it's not the end of the world, and the most important thing here is 5 cores of Transcendence. That's pretty nice. So find people on your friends list if you can, find them in the community, go ahead and fight them and get some free rewards. And here we are. That's it. There's a summary of the thing we saw at the very beginning and just gives you a chance to go ahead and check this out again. All in all, this is an incredible event with lots of different tiers to what you should and shouldn't do. I think it is a shame for those that come into this event and don't have 1,000 scrolls because they won't be able to get this really nice mysterious artifact selection chest, but those of you that do and then can come into here and get the stuff, that's amazing. Also, one thing worth mentioning, if you buy every single thing here, which I know is crazy, you're going to get yourself 50 cores of Transcendence, 200 glorious relics, and as well a luxury home chest, which offers loads of rewards for your Celestial Island buildings. 1 million of all the major resources, 300 Masters toolboxes, 100k fine wood, and 100k hard rock. It's kind of wild. It's expensive to get all of this stuff, and it's going to require a heck of a lot of spins on here, but if you've got 100,000 gems and you're willing to spend all the money necessary, then sure, go ahead. Either way, let me know what you think about this event in the comment section down below, and let's go check out EOS. But before we do that, we need to go see not next week's event, but the event after, which is Valentine's Day. And this is one of the best Prophet Summons events we've ever seen. First off, Eloise is the top reward. One of the best heroes in the game, probably one of the best, if not the best first E5, and as well a hero that will last you from the beginning right up until the end of the game, and I love the Eloise on my account. She is phenomenal. The Extra Drop Carnival. This is offering a mysterious artifact selection chest, but do not be fooled, this does not contain the new artifact. So if you want the new artifact, you have to grab it this week. But you can still get this with universal crystals and select any other artifact you want, whether it's Punisher of Immortal, Demon Bell, Golden Crown, even Rui Scepter, or potentially Snowheart for some PvP shenanigans. Now moving on, the Heroic Miracle is also fantastic. We have Carry, the best Dark Ranger in the game. Love to see it. Energy Steal is amazing. And then finally, of course, there is the Valentine's event, which is going to get us loads more additional prizes and rewards, and probably some pretty decent skins as well for the Celestial Island. This I like. So if you want to go ahead and see what all this is going to entail, I will review this in a couple weeks' time when it's available to us. So make sure you hit that subscribe button here and don't miss out on that content. Anyway, folks, let's finish up today the best way we can by checking out Transcendence hero EOS. She is the Sun Devourer, and her skills are pretty fantastic. The Scorched Sight is a basic attack that deals damage to the front row enemies, dealing 1000% of attack damage to them, and burns them, dealing extra damage equal to 10% of the target's max HP. So already, lots of different kinds of damage here, very nice. She'll also then heal herself 15% of her max HP for 2 rounds, so just by doing a basic, she's giving herself good healing that's going to come in and benefit her, keeping her alive. Some sustain is always good to see on a hero. Moving on, we have the Life Cycle ability, which says when an enemy dies, she's going to gain damage dealt by 10% for 8 rounds, and also 50 energy. This ability is not to be underestimated. Faithblade broke the meta when he came out with the ability to gain energy when heroes die on the opposing team, and that's exactly what Sun Devourer EOS is capable of doing if you're not careful. Racking up all that energy, getting multiple active skills off from her is terrifyingly strong. We were trying her out on Sol's account on here, and it was absolutely wild. We were tearing through PvP teams left, right, and center, and dealing colossal amounts of damage with her. Getting multiple active skills without the need of running multiple Demon Bells was ridiculous, because it meant the rest of the team could run artifacts that really suited their playstyle more, and we could really feed into the EOS and get as much damage as possible. It's a ridiculous ability. It broke Faithblade, and it's great to see it on a different hero. As well, when allies die, she's going to increase her own damage reduction, which keeps her alive, and her control immunity, which keeps her safe from nasty effects from your opponent. all good abilities to have. This makes it tempting to run her on a cheese team and means Eos is potentially going to be a fun hero on teams in Interdimensional Arena and Guild Wars where she's a throw-off, not necessarily being used in your main teams. That said, she is exceptionally strong, so it's likely she is still going to make it into main lineups as well, but it does make that an option, whereas Asmodel was only really the other Transcendent option to go ahead and build teams like that. So it's fun to see some cheese tactics becoming available with Transcendence heroes. Now, is that going to be viable for most people? Not really, because building a Transcendence hero just to cheesify them isn't very good, and it means she's also going to have to rely on the weakness of other heroes, which necessarily isn't a good strategy moving forwards into other game modes. It could, however, be very helpful in the Tower of Dreams, because normally there you're using up heroes who are naturally weak, and actually that's going to play to Eos's strengths, so she's probably going to be very powerful in the Tower of Dreams if utilized correctly. Watch this space. Undying Gloomy Sun is her final passive, and this is one that's got a lot of people hyped. When she dies, she's going to inflict energy oscillation on all enemies and summon an engulfing sun on the battlefield. Now, first thing I want to say about this engulfing sun, it is a pain in the arse because it covers a lot of heroes' health bars and energy bars, so it's really annoying when trying to watch fights, but it does mean you can't miss it and you definitely know it's been deployed. What it actually does, though, is very, very good. At the end of each round, there's a 40% chance that you're going to reduce the enemy's energy by 50, which means every round, at the end of the round, she has a chance to steal energy after she's dead. That's really good for locking away fights that could potentially result in a loss. If, for example, you've taken a Garuda active skill in the Void Vortex and you still have someone clutching on for dear life and you know an active skill from that Garuda is going to seal the deal against your team, but if the Garuda never gets an active skill, it isn't, then you are going to pray that that energy steal is going to keep you alive, and boy, will it. So potentially the Sun Devourer Eos as a pairing hero with another Transcendence hero is going to be very, very powerful in the Void Vortex. Do bear in mind, Eos has to be dead for this to come into play though, so that is potentially one downside, making her not necessarily the best first Transcendence hero. Still though, there are many merits to her that could make her the best first Transcendence hero, but I would argue she's probably better placed as a second or third. So anyway, that's the effect of the engulfing sun. Energy oscillation, on the other hand, that's really annoying. It's basically going to do 6% of attack damage for each energy your opponent has. So it's just little chip damage. It's not the strongest damage in the world, but it is a little bit of extra damage coming out. Bear in mind that can't crit because it's not part of like a basic or an active. So a lot of the abilities that Sun Devourer Eos is doing are abilities that will lean towards attack and holy damage and skill damage, as opposed to things such as crit and crit damage, which actually means her build becomes a lot more straightforward. You want to run attack, holy damage, and then artifacts that are going to synergize with that, such as the brand new artifact that improves all damage dealt and holy damage, or such as something like a golden crown, which gives damage reduction as well as additional attack and HP, which is nice for keeping her alive. So it depends what you need, if you need tankiness or more damage, but a lot of people are leaning towards the new artifact. I'll be honest with you guys, it's very, very strong. Anyway, folks, let's take a look at the final ability, her active skill, and boy, is this an essay. But it's basically simplified. An attack that deals 1200% of attack damage to all enemies, so it's just a flat-out boom, here's a big bit of damage. But most importantly, when she does this active skill, she's going to burn the targets, dealing extra damage equal to 10% of the target's HP. As well, that's going to last for 6 rounds, so that's a very nice damage over time. As well, that's going to put out the Everlasting Sun, and the Everlasting Sun is an effect that also covers up the battlefield. Very annoying, but still, it's not, at least you know it's there. And it can't be stacked, that's an important thing. Not that you could use multiple Eoses anyway, but bear in mind, it can't be stacked. So no Delasium abilities or anything like that can be used with this. But either way, at the end of each round, it's going to burn the target, dealing damage equal to 10% of their max HP, so more burn damage coming out. And as well, there's a 40% chance that that's going to dazzle opponents. Very cool. Dazzle is an awesome CC, which means opponents basically can't really control where their abilities are going, so it really just fumbles them and makes their active skills and basic attacks and passive abilities not as good as they potentially could be. It's very satisfying if you can pull that off. A hero like Cruz, for example, who potentially stuns the whole opposing team, if he gets dazzled, it's only one opponent that stuns, and that really shuts down that ability and makes it considerably worse. It's a lovely ability to have there with that dazzle. Nice. Now that said, when Transcendence Eos dies, Everlasting Sun disappears. It's gone. but it does get replaced by that other Eternal Sun ability, so it's not so bad. And as well, guys, there's another thing. If Everlasting Sun is already out on the field when she does an active skill, she's going to do Divine Retribution, which basically just means you do an extra 800% of attack damage. It can't scale, it can't crit, other damage stats and things aren't going to affect it. It's just boom, here is 800% of additional attack damage to the opponent because Everlasting Sun is already out there. And that's just nice extra damage you can't really complain about. And considering that if you combine that with an ability such as Life Cycle, where when opponents die, you're gaining energy, it just means I'm like, oh, let's go with an active skill. You're all burning now. Oh, let's do another active skill. Oh, you're already burning? Have some more damage. It just means it's going to be stack after stack after stack, multiple damage components. That's going to tear through things like Unbending Will. It's really going to chip away at opponents' healths and mean that Eos is just a really, really powerful hero, and it's great to see a hero that doesn't necessarily rely on crit or crit damage. So she's just going to be whacking hard. She's going to be doing some great things on teams if built properly, and it's going to be really fun to see her tear up the PvP scene and potentially readjust how people approach things like Realm's Gate and even Tower of Dreams, because it's most likely she's going to be really strong in those game modes. To answer the all-dying question, is she going to be the new best first Transcendence hero? I don't want to say yes, because Sword Flash is so consistent and so powerful and so helpful, and Halora is so reliable at doing Seal Land 25, it's difficult to contest with those two. If on the other hand we see people on earlier accounts do very well in light Seal Land with a Sun Devourer Eos, then that may change my opinion a little bit. As well, it depends on whether she's going to be good in Void Vortex on her own, because it does require her to die for one of her abilities to come into play, which means if she's alive, that's never coming into play, and therefore it's not going to be as strong as it could be if paired with other Transcendence heroes to really make the most out of Eos's skill set. In my opinion, she's more of a second or third Transcendence hero, but again, it is likely we need way more testing before we can say anything conclusive. Is she good? Hell yes. Should you hope to build her at some point on your account? Absolutely. And do you want the new artifact to pair with her? Very much so. So that's my take home for her. If you want good builds for her, in PvP, speed attack. And if you're running her for damage modes, attack, holy damage. You want her to do as much damage as possible, and they're the best two to have for her. And don't forget, in PvP, speed rules, so speed attack is the stone for that one. And there you go. Easy summary, really strong hero, great to see her. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Let me know if you're going to spend any money this event. Let me know if you're looking forward to using 1050 scrolls to get yourself a mysterious artifact selection chest that contains the new artifact. There's a lot of good stuff this week, and it's really great to see DH Games have really pulled it out the bag with this one for Chinese New Year. Here's to a fantastic next 2 weeks, guys. I hope you enjoy it, and happy hunting.